Hey everybody, welcome back to the 9 Essentials of Web Success. We're on our third session, Email Strategy, Content, and E-Commerce. For those of you just joining us in our series, I'm Marjorie Gates, Digital Marketing Manager for Broad Street Consulting. I've been working with Broad Street for about 6 years. I'll be monitoring the GoToMeeting chat board during the webinar, so if you have any questions or comments, feel free to type it in there in the chat and we'll discuss it at the end of the presentation. And with that, we will get started. Thank you all for joining us, and please welcome Tom Sliker.
Hello, and welcome to session number 4 of the 9 Essentials of Web Success. And today we're going to be talking about email strategy, content, and e-commerce. And just give me 1 second. Get my driver here. Okay, so just a reminder about Web Success. We're trying to give you the skills and know-how to be number 1 in Google, to dominate local markets, sell online, stay connected with customers, reach your next generation of customers, and more. We have done several previous sessions. We had session 1 through 3. You can check out that first one. You can go to this playlist, that bit.ly address, Web Success Playlist will be our playlist on YouTube. And then you can always go to websuccess.guru to find out more about any of these things. We talked last week about how to be number 1 on Google, and we used two examples, 2 different approaches, right? So one was organic, meaning people search for something and you come up number 1 organically. To do that, you want to use search engine optimization. That means putting all the right keywords and information on your site so that you are the most specific, most relevant page to come up number 1. And then secondly is using Google AdWords or pay-per-click methodology to actually pay your way to the top of Google. And so we went through those in a fair amount of detail. The whole concept here, just to review here, was we're talking about people out here on the internet. In the bottom right corner we call searchers, and they're out there searching for things. And so today what we're going to talk about is kind of what happens when those searchers, we've already made contact them in some way, and then specifically we've managed to get their email address. Maybe they purchased something, or very possibly they signed up for something, requested something, but somehow or another we've gotten their email and we've got a go-ahead to speak with them and to share something with them. This is the diagram we've been looking at over the last several weeks, looking at our web success strategy and the 9 essentials. And today what we're going to be looking at is email, which is right here. And then we're going to also be looking at e-commerce. So once we get people's attention, we want to be able to sell them something on our website. And then also looking again at content strategy. So the most effective marketing strategy. The most effective marketing strategies, this is a survey of business owners. Word of mouth comes up at number 1, but email continues to be a very high ranking way to, highly respected as a very effective marketing strategy. Couple things, a couple of these I've shared before or similar. This was business survey. Where are you going to spend more money next year, and where are you going to spend less money next year? And email marketing, this is a year ago, but email marketing, 60% thought it was effective and they would spend more the following year, only 3% less. So email marketing continues to get good grades from people who use it. One of the most effective, cost-effective ways to reach people. They say you get $40 of return for every dollar spent on email marketing. And this shows that email marketing, when compared to other digital marketing tactics, 61% say it's effective and 22% easy. So this is not the easiest thing to do, but it is one of the most effective things you can do. So what I want to do is just kind of review some of the services out there and give you a little bit of an idea why these are important. Several things about Constant Contact, MailChimp, those are the ones that I'm most familiar with. Aweber, I have used. They're all very similar. And the main idea is that it's a place for you to load your email list. One of the things that is not generally a good idea is to send bulk emails from a standard email account. That's usually, there's a number of things that can go wrong with that. One is you're more likely to get flagged for spam. Some number of email providers have limitations. You're not following standard best practices probably with the unsubscribe method. So one of the things is always to consider that you want to use good manners. So when you think about it, somebody's allowing you to come into their inbox. So we think of it like being invited to someone's home for dinner. Remember that you're in their house. So we want to always be careful and obey kind of the rules of the road with regard to email marketing. And number one is you want to have permission, right? So when you're building your list, you need to go out and get as many emails as you can. Continue to ask people for emails. If you have existing customers, get them to sign up. It's usually in a little bit of an effort to get started, but once you get going, you continue to grow your list. You get permission. When you send them an email, we usually use as a guide, have something to tell them, have something to sell them. So we usually try to have some kind of content, and then hopefully we have going to do some commerce as well. There's a lot of analytics, a lot of information that's available. When you send these emails through these services, not only, you get these very high quality HTML, really attractive templates that you can use, but also you get a lot of feedback back. You can find out how many people opened each email. You can find out how many people clicked on each particular link. Okay, and then once you start building out these lists, you want to build segmented groups, meaning you want to ideally over time, you're not sending the same message to all your customers. Some people came to you because they like work boots and work clothes, and other people might be coming to you because they have like other products that you sell or have other interests. So it's important over time to try to refine your groups and have more and more targeted emails that speak specifically to your different segments. All right, so on the email strategy, I just wanted to share an example. This is another one from Busby Truck Parts, but again, we try to have something to tell them, something to sell them. We typically send something out at least once a month, at least once a quarter, once a season. But this is an example of the kind of statistics you get. You can see that how many people opened it, how many clicked, etc. And so that feedback is extremely valuable. And then there's all kind of charts. You can see how your list has grown over time. So again, when we think about sending out these emails, I like this guide, something to tell you, something else to tell you, and something else to sell you. And so it's from a marketing perspective, it puts a challenge on the business owner that hopefully you're thinking about these things in advance, that you can think about what do I want to tell my subscribers, those people that are interested in my business. How can I get them back to the website? How can I get them back on the phone giving us a call? And so content we've talked about before, and then e-commerce we're going to talk about really for the first time today. So there's another example of that same strategy that I've mentioned on the Busby example. So what we typically would do is we'll we do blog at least once or twice a month on that Busby site, and we usually have something that's seasonal, something in the summer. We talk about, things that overheat. In the winter, we talk about adding antifreeze, that kind of thing. So something that's relevant. The other thing that's really unique, and we've talked about this idea of the long tail and having a niche, but when you have a niche, that means there's not a lot of people out there in the world for publishing information about it. So if you've got 5,000 or 10,000 people that are interested in a particular kind of truck like we are here at Busby, then we can be the main provider of information about these trucks. And so not only do we have a lot of expertise in this area, but we also have trucks for sale. And so that's kind of what we would do in a typical email. And then also on content, just a reminder, I had shared this the other day, but just how many visitors can end up coming through a blog post. So again, we try to drive people back to the website one way or another, but we continue to see traffic coming through this content, such as the blog posts. And then also I shared about the YouTube a couple weeks back, how by putting these YouTube videos out there, we continue to establish expertise in this area. We have people finding us, thousands of people every week that are discovering these videos, finding out that we have expertise in this area and coming to our website. So these are things that, again, you initially are reaching out to people that you don't know that are finding you through YouTube and so forth. But once you get their email address, that's another opportunity to kind of remind them about the content that you've produced, the information you have to share with them, and of course continue to drive them back to your website. And just another shot, just kind of showing what your goal is here. This is one of our clients that just kind of shows you the general web traffic, that this is not an overnight thing. This is something that takes time. We're looking at something here that's getting close to 10 years in process right now. And so it doesn't happen overnight, but now's the time to start. And so you continue to do these practices, drive people to your website, and then you have the opportunity to convert that into new customers and new sales. I just wanted to share a few things about e-commerce. E-commerce right now, if you look at the news, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, they're investing billions of dollars every year in building websites or building infrastructure that hosts computer services, web services, websites, e-commerce, etc. And so the big guys are continuing to build out the platform. There's a lot of things that in the old days, when we were building websites 15 years ago, 20 years ago, things that we had to build for ourselves that now are kind of part of built into the plan. So, but the main thing, what is it that makes an e-commerce site? What is it that makes you call it an e-commerce site? To me, the main thing is that you're going to take financial transactions, okay? And so even at a very small basic starter level of a website, it's not terribly difficult to implement some means for collecting payments, okay? And so the ones that I'm most familiar with are here, PayPal. We've been using for 15, 20 years. PayPal Payments Pro is the version that allows you to basically just take credit cards right on your website, and then your website transmits that information to PayPal, verifies it, and gets a response. And the good thing about that for you as a business owner is that you don't ever actually have to store credit card numbers on your website. Okay, so we don't store any credit card information on our servers. We take that information, immediately pass it over to PayPal, and then PayPal process it, and then they're responsible for keeping it secure. But PayPal, I would say, is the leader. Stripe, we've done a number of those. Square is another one that you probably best known for the little plugin that they have that goes on your smartphone and swipes a credit card. And they also have a back end that you can integrate with your website to take these credit cards and have them processed. And then authorize.net is kind of what a lot of the big banks use, and this also works pretty much the same way. So I just wanted to share a couple things, a couple more things about a typical e-commerce site, and just kind of get you thinking about, again, we're thinking in the context of email, so we're sending out emails, we're trying to drive people back to our website, but hopefully you are, have an e-commerce site, or will have an e-commerce site that will allow people to make purchases online. And so I just wanted to highlight a couple of the kind of key areas that makes it an e-commerce site. if you look at the top of the page, of course, we expect to have a shopping cart in this day and age, and you want to be able to find products and add them to your cart. You need some means for logging in. Remember, in a previous session, we talked about content management systems like WordPress and Drupal and Joomla, and these typically have e-commerce components as well. That lets you handle a lot of this stuff that, again, in the old days we might have to build. But so the shopping cart, a search is very important. We always try to include some kind of means for searching, so people can come on here and from any page they can go and try to find the specific product that they might be looking for. And then if you look at the left side, this is where we usually have some kind of navigation, right? Filtering of some sort. You can do a lot of different things there, but it's a pretty standard design. We always try to have, some kind of promotion, some kind of products on the front page so people can immediately see what we sell. Another client I want to just share briefly is cotdock, and this is Larry, the guy who runs cotdock. And a very similar approach here. I mean, it's just the shopping cart I like. It's got this little pop-up that I like, but overall, it's basically the same basic concept. And we use the navigation down the left side, but a pretty standard e-commerce. I sometimes get to thinking that these look a little bit dated because everybody's got something more modern, more mobile, and so forth. These look pretty good on mobile, but also if you look at Amazon, which is by far the largest store in the world, it's pretty much the same design. You have your search at the top. You've got your navigation and your filters on the left, and you got your products in the middle. So I think it's a pretty solid design for an e-commerce system, and pretty standard and pretty well accepted, I think. And again, the continued growth is really what we're shooting for, and it's just another statistics from another client just showing how that hockey stick, they call that, where it grows and it grows and then it starts growing more. And so it's just a matter of time and investment. And so in review, we have this process here where we're up here in the top left corner with our website and our storefront, and we got these people out there searching, and we talked in the last few weeks about how to use Google, how to use search engine optimization, all these other tools to try to be found by folks, to try to draw them in, maybe make them into followers. And then this is the time where what we talked about today, which is getting your email, getting those emails flowing to the customers, and continue to drive them back to your website, continue to stay engaged with them, and hopefully driving them to be new customers. So that's pretty much concludes what I have for today. We are now through the 4th session. You can see we've now completed number 4, and next week we'll be talking about e-commerce in more depth, and then we're getting into more about specifically Google AdWords and search engine stuff. And then that following week we'll be doing a deep dive into Google AdWords. So thank you very much. We're going to open up to Q&A if anybody has any questions or anything they'd like to add.
I have one question, but also I wanted to correct you. You said that we would be meeting next week, and we will be meeting in 2 weeks again, not next week.
You are correct. Next week is 4th of July. You're right. We'll be meeting July 11th to continue. Thank you, Marge.
And the one question we had written in, what are some ways I can get email addresses if I don't sell anything on my website?
Yeah, so hopefully you've got a customer list of some sort. What we're trying to do with a lot of our customers are groups that have not done anything electronically, like just barely doing emails and things like that. So certainly you can start by looking through your emails and finding that friendly group of people that already have given you permission to email them. But also, like in the local store here that we've talked about, Tyler Brothers, we would have our annual giveaway. One of the things we would do is we would give away prizes during the Christmas season, and you'd come in and leave your email address, and we'd collect hundreds, if not thousands, of email addresses, each year. And you do that over many years, and you have a pretty good crew. So that's one way. A lot of people do is give away something, free download. If you can find some of your content. We were talking about today, even one of our clients that, has a really nice catalog of products on their website. And, there may be a demand for a printed version of that they could print off and leave around the office. So that's the kind of thing where we can easily say, hey, get a downloaded print version of our catalog and sign up here. And they sign up, they get that catalog, and then you follow up maybe a week later, ask them if they want to know more information or if they can share other information with them. So those are some ways to kind of get those emails initially.
And one more question. Some sites are making it hard to pay with PayPal. Are you aware of this?
Some sites, no, I'm not aware of that. But I'd be interested in any specifics. tsliker@sliker.com if you could send me an email. I'd love to hear more if someone wants to say more about it now, but I don't know about that. I will say I know there are limitations. One of our clients is a pharmacy, and it turns out that they don't do pharmacies on PayPal. So, there are some limitations of what you can and can't do with some of these services. All right. Well, with that, thank you all very much. Appreciate your time. See you again in 2 weeks.